Hello, and thank you once again for joining me as I've converted this VW Crafter medium wheelbase into a camper van. Now in this video I'm showing you how you remove these visors, these sun visors. Now it's pretty straightforward, and I would say it's actually easy, but when I did the right hand one over there, I couldn't work out how these clips work, and they were super hard to get down. In fact, the clips stayed in the van and the sun visor came down without them. But as soon as I worked out how the clips worked, it's actually really simple to do. And I released this one here in a matter of seconds. Literally click, job done, click, job done, because there's two clips. So I'm going to show you exactly how these little clips work and what you need to release it with just a screwdriver. Now you can buy a tool, but that tool's about £30. And it's quite funny because, well, not funny for the guy who bought them, but I saw a video where the man bought the special tool to release the clips, and he was saying he still couldn't release the clips. So hopefully this video might help him out, although hopefully he's got them out by now. So yeah, you don't need to buy a tool, you can just use a screwdriver. But if you do want to buy the tool, I'll leave one linked in the description below. Now I'm presuming if you're looking to remove the visors, you're also looking to remove the entire shelf unit all across here and the headliner above. So obviously our headliner has now been gone. I've cut it down to size because you can see here's that what's left of the headliner here, because I've got the shelf above it with a microwave on and some other bits and bobs at the top there. So of course I made a video on everything that you need to do to remove the entire headliner here and this shelf unit, all the screws which are up inside here, all the various clips around the van, so you can easily move that headliner. So I made a detailed video all about doing that step-by-step process, so check that out if you are looking to remove the whole thing, because there are a few little clips in there, like those nasty little clips which are on the sun visors, which you need to get past to get the whole thing out without breaking anything. Now, if this is the first time you stumbled across one of my videos, I thought I'd just give you a run through of what I got in this van at the end of the video. So stick around for that if you want to see what I've got going on. Just before I show you how to remove those pesky clips in the sun visors, if you do find this video useful, then please give me that little bit of feedback by clicking on the old thumbs up and click on subscribe. And that will help other people on the van community to find this video. And of course, share it with anyone else you think will find it useful. Right, now let's get on with showing you how to remove these pesky sun visors. First little thing to point out, you don't need to do anything with these clips here. They're part of the shelf unit, so no need to worry about that. Just need to play around with these clips back here. You've got two little clips here. I can see that there. That's what's holding the middle in now. I'm not sure if I need to release these, because there you go. That's the whole middle section now loose. So now now I've got this middle section all loose. It's just a case of working our way back along here. Take this out. So now this part here, it's my sun visor. Let's just put that clip back in there out of the way. So I'm going to try prising it from the front here, or the back, should I say. And it's definitely, and there's like a little clippy part there. There we go, that's quite hard to lever off there. And it definitely does not want to give way. And nice to be with those. Yeah, I don't want to go up. Yeah, let me things. What is it? What hold it in? I'm sitting too close. No, please move. That's good. That's that that feels nice. That's probably now. There you go. See what's holding this thing. This now. Yeah. There we go. It's even got a little attachment so you don't lose it. Oh, I see. Yeah, pretty much what I thought. It's just, they're just clips, so you need to kind of pull the edges away. So we're just levering it in. You might actually be sort of pushing it in. You want to kind of lever it out. I think I'm even better off, once I've got the one down, just to push across and push it off. That would have probably worked. But we'll try it on the other one, see if that works. Right, now inside here we've got, what have we got in this side here? So inside here, we got another torque screwdriver fit inside there. And there's that one there. So that's that one. So now it's a case of getting this thing here down. Now I know there's some weird little clips here. Possible it might just pull off, but it doesn't feel like it's gonna pull off. So maybe we do have to try and open these little clips up somehow. Now for about the next half an hour I really struggled to try and get these little clips released. I couldn't work out how they worked. In fact, I ended up detaching them from the actual visor and the clips are still stuck in the van. But after more fiddling and prising around, I did finally manage to get these clips out. And then once I've worked out how they actually operate, they're pretty straightforward. So now I'm going to show you how these clips work so you don't have to struggle trying to figure out how to get the damn things out of the roof. Once I'd figured out how they operate, they are actually pretty straightforward. And when I came to do the second sun visor, it actually came down in a matter of seconds and I only used one screwdriver. So here's the sun visor and that just slots into there like that. You can see it sort of pushes in there and that one there does exactly the same. Okay, pushes in there. Now these clips are a little bent now, but you can still see how they operate. So you can see on the side of the clip, you've got the piece that sticks out. We then need to push our screwdriver up against the edge and then lever that part in. So with the screwdriver inserted, you can then see as I lever it, it pulls those two pieces in. You're then free to drop it down. Now the key thing here is to use the right size screwdriver. If you use a small one, it's just not going to be enough to pull those clips far enough in. So you want a screwdriver that's as wide as a slot and preferably quite fat. So if you just put a thin screwdriver up it like this, okay, you slot it into that slot there like that, you can see it doesn't pull the catches in far enough. You can see they're still sticking out slightly. So the clip will not release if it's sticking out even a tiny bit. Now you might be able to use a pair of long nose pliers and just squeeze it together like I'm doing here. And it is kind of pulling the catch in, but I'm not sure if it would be enough. Now you can buy a specific tool to remove these clips, but this costs around £30. And I'm going to show you how you can use a screwdriver to do exactly the same job. So here's like the perfect size screwdriver. So when you push it up inside here, see there's little clips on the side, pushes down, or pulls those bits at the side there. See, it's now straight across there. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to do that with it. Pull those in like that. When you pull it back out again, like this, you can see those clips move back again, out again, and it grips the metal. So that's how those things work. It's the most important thing, how these things work. See, it's quite hard to hold it still and show you. When you look up into the sun visor, this is how you'll see the clips. They're in two different orientations, and what you want to do is to slip your screwdriver up into the slot just here, and then twist the screwdriver to release one side of the clip and then the other side of the clip. And that worked perfectly for me, which I'm just about to show you. So now I'm going to show you how I just use this one screwdriver, and with a couple of wiggles I managed to remove the right hand visor in literally just a couple of seconds. Let's see what we can do with this other one here. So first of all, we've got to remove this little clip here. Pull that one there. And then if I push it to the side, let's just put that in there. Maybe it's a big one. I'll just push it across. Maybe that'll have it release. All right. So this is exactly the same as the other one. Let's release, but not the other bit. Let's try pushing it across. They're so tight. When it finally comes off, it comes off with a bit of a jerk, and I break the little retaining cord. But that doesn't really matter. So now we got to undo the screw again. There we go. That's that released. Try not to lose it. There it is. There's that one. It's dark and it's raining here in sunny Gosport. Now I can see those clips clearly now. I know what I'm looking for now. So I'm now pulling down on the visor and I insert the screwdriver into the clip that is closest to my hand pulling down on the visor. and I'm releasing the clip which is closest to my hand. That's pulling down on the visor.
I hear a nice clicky sound. Yeah, that's that one gone. Well, got it with just one screwdriver. And the other one. There we go, click, click.
Ah! Oh my God, I got it off. Holy camoli, this thing is hard to get off. But anyway, you saw that, so I was just pulling a little bit of pressure, pulling it down, and then I was able to wiggle that one there, and you can see these aren't bent now, so you can see exactly what they look like. That's what they're supposed to look like, and they're not bent from being yanked around. So there you go, you see they're really tight in there. And then you can see how they're moving. See how that's releasing them? That's what I did. So I wriggled one, and I'll see that released it a little bit. And then I did the other side, and that did the same thing. So yeah, that came down with no trouble at all that time. If you want to remove these clips for any reason, you just push down on a little plastic clip which is in the middle, and that will release them, and then you can slide them out. Clipped in there, yeah, like that. But I don't need to remove it, so push it back in again. There we are. So that's how you remove them if you want to. Great. So now this whole thing is all loose and floppy now. So now we can just remove these two pieces here. These are two bolts which are just holding them in here. Obviously that one's pretty straightforward. So I presume if you're watching this video, then you want to know how to remove the headliner, so you can maybe get some insulation down the back here, or maybe you just want to take this out and put a shelf in and lose this big bulky part here. But anyway, I thought I'd just show you what I've got going on with the insulation in this van. Okay, you can see I've got my fluffy insulation on the sides here, and I've pretty much done the entire van with fluffy insulation all the way around on the sides. And then I've got some 50mm insulation on the ceiling, and you can see I'm really happy with this. You can see it's right up inside there, and that's 50mm, and that goes all the way down the van. And then this is all insulated also. I think, if I remember rightly, I put 30mm of closed cell insulation, so you can see all soft and squidgy again. And so this is all super insulated. There's no chance there's going to be condensation building up on there. So now I've got two layers of 10mm on here, so it's 20mm thick. Now I'm going to put a third layer on, make it 30mm. I definitely think putting it on in 10mm strips or pieces and just cutting them to fit is a lot easier than trying to use one massive sheet and bring the whole lot up. And tuck it down inside there would be super hard to do. But doing it this way with the expanding foam inside here and just putting 10mm sheets on at a time is not hard at all. So I've just got another one here which I'm going to just crack open, and then I've got one more. So whether I decide to use that or use that somewhere else, we will see. But I think 30mm will probably be enough. Now once you've got your headliner out and your shelf, you're probably going to want to put a new shelf in there, so additional shelf. So this is my shelf here which I put in, and you can see we pretty much kind of put it so it sits on top of these two little cubby holes here. And we got room here still to put some hats in here. We've got some hats over there, and it kind of sits on some brackets here, and I made some additional brackets also to support this all the way across. So this is proper strong. You can see that doesn't move at all. Really happy with that. And of course we've got the microwave up here, and the microwave is just kind of stuck in here with some brackets. So I made some brackets up, and I've just glued them onto the side of the microwave. Just used some of the black sealant which I had left over, and the microwave doesn't move at all. Obviously it didn't move very much when we were driving anyway, but now the brackets are in there, it doesn't move at all. And I just got those two brackets in there. I haven't got any of the brackets holding down. So that's how that's held in there. And of course that's perfect because it's also a mirror. Hello, how are you? That works out quite handy. And then just to finish off this edge here, obviously I put this piece of wood across here, and that just finishes off the edge here with the ceiling and the edge, and that just sort of finished that off nicely. There's a couple of wires tucked in back there. You can see I could neaten those up a little bit, but I'm going to run a couple more wires because I'm going to be putting a side light, which I thought about doing originally, but I just didn't get around to doing it, but I'm going to put one in now on each side in those two little top quarter panels there. So we can see what we're doing when they're in a really dark place. And I've pretty much removed all of the headliner. Like I said, there's nothing in the top here that's part of the headliner anymore. Okay, so the only bit of headliner original part is a little bit around here. And of course I trimmed that back all the way around here, and I kind of made the shelf a little bit soft, squishy, so that it sits in there nicely. So that gets, so even if I don't cut this quite straight, because this is squishy here, it sits down and makes a nice finish all the way around the van. So that came out really well. Okay, so I'm happy with that. We've just put an additional little rail on here. This is additional bit I've just done very recently, so we can put our secret curtain up. So although this curtain isn't dark enough, look, we can see through it. This is supposed to be a blackout curtain. But anyway, that's on there now. And of course, you see a lot of people, they put these little cubby holes on the front here, little door there, little door there. We just thought that was just too small, you'd be squashing stuff in, so that's why we went to the microwave up there. There is a little bit of sort of wasted space on this side, but there's a socket in there where we've got the stuff plugged in, and obviously I've got all my wires and switches here. I'm going to be adding a couple more switches for some side lights just here, but we've got the maximum amount of space inside here, so it goes right up to the edge there, and so we've claimed as much space as we can, which is obviously what you need to do in your camper van. Now you might be thinking, because we haven't got any doors on here, that stuff falls out of here, like this little box, or maybe anything else like the mirror just there, maybe that's falling out as we're driving. But because the shelf is sloping downwards, we haven't found that to be an issue at all. The stuff has stayed up there absolutely fine. So you don't necessarily need to put those little cubby holes on. You can do, that's entirely up to you. Obviously we haven't, and it's been absolutely fine. So a very quick run through of what I've got going on in this van. Let's start from the top. I've got my max air fan here. That's the deluxe with the remote control. And the remote control is down here behind the bed here, so we can turn it on off when we're in bed. And that links in nicely with the windows in the back here, which have got the fly screens on. So we can open those windows at night and we get a nice bit of air being drawn across the bed and going out of the max air fan. We got this nice paneling on the top here. This is solid like oak all the way to the back of the van. We've got this upright fridge here, which is super duper handy. We open that up and then we can see the fridge is actually on there. Got a little bit of milk in there. Obviously we're not going away anywhere, so it's not stocked up. We got plenty of shelf room here. If you're going to ask me where I got these units from, I made them all myself. So they're bespoke made from big panels of wood. I've got the blinds here from Tropic Home. We've got the fly screen, and also we got the blind on the bottom there. The only downside to these blinds, although they're really nice, they do leave little tiny holes just here, so you can let some light through. So it's not perfect for stealth camping because you can see through them. But anyway, they're from Tropic Home. Then of course I've got my Truma water heater up here. That's all working fine. So that's the water heater and fan heater. We got the switch to turn on the power for the 230 volts just there. We've got our electric kettle. We got our milk frother just there. We got our coffee machine just there. We got this side unit over here with the sink in the top inside here. This has all been epoxied, which I did myself. We got all the coffee stuff over there because we found as we're driving it kind of falls off, so we made a little box to keep it in. We got more shelf units in with cups and coffee and stuff inside there. I've just finished this unit off just here. That's all done. We've got the blind on the other side over here. We got the water tank connector over here. Tells me exactly how much water's in there. We've got USB points all around the van. Obviously we've got the light switch just there, turn the lights on and off. Got the microwave, like I said. I've got the reversing camera linked into the head unit. That all works fine. We've got the two new seats in the front here, which both rotate round, so that's fantastic. We've got a toilet down there, and of course you've got the shower, which I'm standing on right here. We got the tables, which we've made just there. I got my reversing camera and floodlights on the back there. I've got 3 solar panels, give me 525 watts of power. I've fitted a tank underneath the van for wastewater. There's a VICTRON Multi Plus 2. And we got that lovely Truma water heater. And powering it all, we've got a Frogstar 460 amp hour battery. Now, is 460 amp hours enough power? Well, I'm going to say yes, and also no. And look out for my video, how much power do we actually need? Right, so that's about it then. I do hope this video has been helpful to you. As usual, click on the old thumbs up, click on subscribe, and share it with anybody else on the fan community who may find it useful. And I hope to see you in the next video. Bye for now.